Hi Leos, this is your April 2020 romance general card reading. Excuse me, may or may not resonate with everybody. I hope it does. If not, you can always reach out to me. My email is lucy'starot@gmail.com. Okay, so the cards that I pulled today are from the Romance Angels Oracle Cards deck by Doreen Virtue. So, okay, for these messages, whether you're single or in a relationship, like Leos are usually they can be a little stubborn because they are fixed signs, so that means they can be like, kind of digging their heels. I think the other fixed signs are like Taurus and Scorpio, and they're very headstrong too. So, so this reading is kind of telling you to basically keep an open mind, let go a little, and free yourself. Okay, so keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So sometimes I've noticed if people are raised a certain way, like if they're from a certain background or from a certain religion, and then you may come across somebody that's like completely different than your usual type or from what you're used to or what you're used to growing up around. This card kind of reminds you, especially if you're single, like keep an open mind as to who your soulmate might be. Sometimes you think that also that you may have like a certain type. Oh, that's not my type, or this is my type of person that I usually date. Well, keep an open mind. There's nothing wrong with dating somebody different than your usual, because that's what sometimes end up being the best connection. You never know. It could be like a diamond in the rough that you didn't know, that you didn't realize that you maybe could have a great connection with. So don't be so if you're single or looking for somebody, or if you know somebody, or that you maybe met recently, don't be so oh no, I don't think I could ever date that person. Oh no, I'm not usually attracted to that type. You never know. I'm not saying go out with somebody that you don't absolutely aren't attracted to or you don't connect with. No, I'm just saying that sometimes you can automatically write somebody off because you think, nah, I don't think me and him would have anything in common or things like that, So yeah, but let's read what the book says. So don't be so rigid in your thinking, put it that way. No offense, Leos, but listen, I've done that too. I'm not even a Leo, but when I was younger, I used to do that. Like, oh, I don't think I would ever date that type of guy. Oh, I could never date like a businessman or something. Like, oh, I don't think they're my type. Wrong. You know what I mean? Or oh, I can never date an actor. Then you know what happens? And somebody that like you say that you don't want to date or you don't think you could ever date will come along, and that exact person will come along just to prove you wrong. The universe will do that to you. It's done that to me so much in my younger years, my early 20s, and that's when I learned. Okay, you know what? I shouldn't think okay only this type is my type, or so just to be open. And if you're in a relationship, then keep an open mind, meaning like maybe if your mate wants to try different things, keep an open mind. Sometimes you get stuck in a routine or used to just doing certain things, and this means like in and out of the bedroom. Okay, so keep an open mind. The romance angel sent you this card as a reminder to stay open to the possibility of your soulmate appearing in a form that may differ from what you expect. This is especially true if you tend to date a certain type of individual. What did I tell you? You drew this card to help you discover your soulmate. This card may signal that you've already been introduced to this person but have overlooked his or her romantic potential. Take the time to get to know the various individuals you meet, even if there isn't an initial attraction. At the very least, you will learn more about yourself and may make a new friend. That's happened to me before. Like, I actually knew somebody, I met them years before, this was like years ago, but I met them through work, just okay, somebody I knew, coworker or whatever, but I happened to run into them 4 years later, not realizing they were and then it was like a completely different connection. Like we were both at different times in our lives, but we both had an attraction to each other, and initially I didn't think. Well, eventually, I ended up, realizing, wait a minute, I am attracted to this person. Initially, I was like, nah, he's not my usual type. And I knew him from 4 years before, and I was like, well, I didn't look at him that way back then either, and he was in a different point of his life, too. So it was just we didn't look at each other way back then, but then like 4 years later, it was just like, oh wait a minute, like, and initially I was like, no, I didn't even think that he would like me, and I was like, no, I don't think I'm attracted to him, am I? And then I realized, like, yeah, I am attracted. So, and he wasn't my usual type at that time, so then that made me realize, you know what, like, yeah, don't get stuck in a box, like, oh, that's not the usual type I usually date, or what, what would other people think, or whatever, like, so just keep an open mind, basically. Okay, let go of control issues. What's so funny is that the let go of control issues and the free yourself, it's time to take back control, they kind of came up together. It could be like a little contradicting, but it's not, but we'll go into that in a second. So, let's see, where is that thing? Okay, let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. So sometimes, where is this at? Okay, sometimes, I mean, I've had Leo relatives, so I know that they can be kind of stubborn. So, like, don't be too, like, controlling on, like, how you want something to go, or how you want something to manifest, or trying to control other people, like, put it that way. So this is why I was saying, like, even though the last two cards are kind of opposite, it does make sense, because if you're trying to control how somebody else is or how they act, like, that's not going to work, because that's up to them. For them to, they have free will, they can do what they want, whether it's good or bad. You just have the choice. You have the choice to free yourself from that person and take back control of your life. So let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. The romance angels have heard your prayers about your love life. Now it's up to you to allow their help to manifest by stepping out of their way. By trying to control other people or external circumstances, you'll only frustrate yourself and slow down your answered prayer. There are plenty of times in life that call for you to take charge, but this isn't one of them. Of course, it's fine to have your preferences, practice visualizations, and hold intentions. Definitely ask the angels for your desires. This card is a reminder, however, that your prayer may be answered differently from what you had in mind. Be open to all possibilities. Okay, that goes back to the keep an open mind. Okay, be open to all possibilities and trust in God's infinite wisdom and compassionate love. Control issues are based upon fears that others, including God, won't live up to your expectations. This is also called outlining, where you hand the universe a script of how you want it and everyone to behave. Outlining can cause you to overlook in an even more beautiful way in which your prayers may be answered. So please call upon the romance angels to elevate your levels of trust, so that you can enjoy the creative avenues by which true love comes to you. If you're already in a relationship, then let go of control issues. Maybe you're trying to control your mate too much, or if you're single, then like trying to control like when you meet that right person. Like, it's not gonna happen when you tell it to happen. You're like, yeah, you can practice your visualizations, meditations, trying to attract your soulmate, definitely. But when you're like too harped on it, then definitely that's not gonna work. That kind of actually hinders it sometimes. Okay, and the last card is free yourself. Okay, it's time to take back control of your life. Like the unicorn in the image on this card, you may be feeling trapped. Perhaps you've relinquished control to someone else, or maybe you feel smothered in your career or relationship. As you tune into yourself, you'll sense the specific areas where this message applies to you. You can even ask yourself, in what ways do I feel limited or constrained? Trust the answers you receive. This card comes to you from the romance angels because they've heard your call for great love. To experience passion, though, you must first allow yourself to feel deep emotions. In doing so, you may come up against areas of your life where you harbor discontent. Simply by acknowledging these areas, you bring light to the situation and allow room for the angels to help you. As you commit to taking back control of your life, your feelings will naturally thaw and reawaken. This leads to a greater capacity to love yourself, your partner, and your experiences. So, this could also mean like, if you're in a controlling relationship that's unhealthy, then yeah, you gotta free yourself from that. Like, and sometimes it's not easy, so sometimes you gotta kind of plan it. You know what I mean? Or if they're really super controlling, sometimes you just have to be careful about making sure that you protect yourself and try to just get away from the person if it's an unhealthy situation. But in that case, like if it's really unhealthy or like abusive or anything like that, then I would say there's phone numbers out there for that. I don't have them offhand, but you could definitely Google them, for like domestic violence and stuff like that. If it's just an annoying relationship that like, oh my god, your partner smothers you and you're not even in, like you're done, you're kind of over it, then yeah, or yeah, if you're in an unhappy relationship and your spouse is like controlling, smothering, whatever, then I mean you got to reevaluate what if you want to continue to be stuck in that or if you want to kind of free yourself from that. It mentioned also career, so sometimes I notice if we're in an unhappy like job or career, sometimes that can like affect like other areas of our life too. So I would say reevaluate everything. If you're not happy with relationship, with job, whatever it is, just reevaluate everything and free yourself from what you don't, you're not happy with. If it's a job, then yeah, definitely don't quit your job before you get another one. Make sure that you line something else up that's definite and solid, so that you're not like, you don't get stuck. Yeah, so that's about it. Yeah, that you don't get stuck without a job, put it that way. And don't start a new job during retrograde. Or something like Mercury when Mercury is in retrograde, they say like don't go looking for a job then. Like do it before or after, because then it might not last, or you might have problems with it, or you might not be happy after you start with it. So anyway, hopefully that resonated. Some of it may have, all of it may have, none of it may have. It's a general reading. If you want a personal reading, just reach out to me. And that's it. Stay safe, Leos. Bye.